Hello, I'm Kate. I'm in the nest and I just want to stitch. So literally, this is the garden quilt in the nest with my little piece that I've been working out. As I film this, my husband is in, in the garden. He is, I never remember that word, whippersnipping, I think. He won't be long, and he's just smiled at me and he'll disappear around the corner. So I have to say I'm missing the Betty quilt, and I was prompted by this work that I've still got this quilt and it's the big one, and I just thought we'd do some stitching together. This is the bottom panel, and like the Betty, the idea is that we join flower to flower. Well, this is the flower to flower one. The Betty was more about memories and telling the story as we went. So we are just going to get on with it and have a chat. So this is on this panel here, this is the original tablecloth and the middle piece and the bottom piece. So it doesn't particularly matter how we join it, but I'm loving it when a flower, I'm just looking there, a leaf joins to a flower, or a leaf to a leaf, you know what I mean. And it doesn't worry me that this is covered because that's fabric, and it's all about different textures. So did I just thread a needle? No, this is Fleur's fabric. Oh, fabric. I thought I was filming actually before for about 10 minutes. I've put the oven on. I've got the chicken marinating for a roast meal. I thought I had it all timed perfectly, and I stood up to check, and the phone had turned itself off. Now that is my fault because I clicked a photo. I have got some bits of paprika around at the moment, so please don't. Oops, I've pinned the other layer. It's interesting, this one feels a lot less bulky than the Betty because, I don't know, is it in the blanket? It must be. I'm just getting my head wrapped around this. So we're going to applique and applique. Then we'll do some embroidery. We might add some treasures. Who knows? But it won't be a long one because I have to put the chicken in. So how are you doing? I hope. Well, as I said this, I was going to say, I hope I haven't asked you this already, but you can't be asked too many times how you're going. 1st of December today. That is significant. I gave my husband a pinch and a punch. And we're really on the countdown now, aren't we, to preparing for happy holidays. He sounds like a big mosquito. So I do apologise, but if I don't do this now, it won't get done. And I want to stitch, basically. I haven't worried about coming in really close with this bit because I'd like to do some flowers to match those little chain ones. And now we're at a flower. I might change into a petal. So how can I do that? Let's dive under there and go down, and we can make this a very big petal. All the way from here up to there, and the reason for that is the overall impact at this point is the texture for me, until we get closer to finishing it, and then it will be that lovely stage of adding all the dangly treasures. I was about to say her jewellery because I loved doing that on the Betty, having little bits of sparkles. This probably won't have as much because it's a garden. I'll just do that a little bit smaller. Then we'll go around to the middle of this other one. And up here. So nothing particularly exciting, but very soothing. Oops. One more stitch. Oh, it's borderline. But I've done it. All right. So that's a little bit in there. We can look on that. Let's have a look across at other bits. So probably because I started this out so long ago and I hadn't done a lot of collage, I look at this piece here and think it's a bit white. It's white with a beautiful thing here, but these flowers, so I'll have to go around them, but let's see if we can grow the garden. Let's do a few of these. Now, if you're the person who doesn't like me cutting these pieces up, you probably shouldn't watch this series because this is an heirloom quilt that is about all these tiny bits that come together to make this story. And it will be treasured. It won't be left in a dark cupboard or in Vinnie's yet. I'm hoping get 100 years of interest in it, maybe. Yep. So we'll put that one there, and that little stitching leads to this flower. And while it's got a cream background, which isn't too big, it it just, what am I trying to say, blends in a little bit better. Leave that one there. This is, it's a story quilt. All of my quilts are going to be story quilts, because there's already my mum up there, and this was the quilt show fabric that I bought. And here is my the embroidery that I stuffed after having that lovely impact with my on the Betty. Okay, we need something in here. So that's a rough join from one block to another. work out how to fix that in a minute. But can you see that bit when I go up there? Yeah. And I might stand up to get some perspective. All right, what little bits have we got? Yeah, just use that. Yep. What about one of our beautiful Yep, because then that relates to that cross stitch. And I can squeeze one of those in there between those embroideries. Okay, this is the second time I've used this doily today. It's like, I think I rave on a little bit too much about how much I enjoy this. But I make a mess and I bury things and then I swoop them all up and forget that I have them. And then I rediscover them again. So it's like foraging forever. So that is beautiful work there. So we'll just have this little piece. That's perfect on my, I've made that decision. I'm just going off topic. Tomorrow on my trip, I'm taking this one with the threads in it and these little pieces, and I'm going to stitch it, and I'm going to make this bigger piece, and it's going to be a start of, I can't call it Christmas collection because it's not in Christmassy colours, but I'll think of a name. We're going to, right, there we are. I love alliteration. We are going to Cootamundra in country New South Wales. So this might be the Cootamundra collection. Or the Coota, we call it Coota, but people often get mixed up and think it's Coota in Bali. Doesn't really matter. I want it to swing this way. I think like that. So she's pointing this way and I can follow the trail of flowers all the way up. Okay, we need to trim a little bit more of this. We can cover up that nasty little bit of a join. So it's crochet to crochet. Oh, that's nice. Okay. I remember when I started out on this quilt, on each block, I didn't even worry about which direction I was putting the flowers, but now that we're getting closer to putting all 9 together, I'm more aware of that. I hope this little flower's making you smile. So pretty. Oh, violet's in the way. I mean, maybe I can get your help because I want to give this a name. And like, is it flowers or is it the garden? The flowers, the garden, There must be something in there because I want all my pieces, all my quilts to have a the after the Betty. So she's going to be the first one. That's my mum, in honour of her, because she's the one, I promise not, I almost started to get teary then. She's the one who's inspired this, who's taught me so much. So the Betty will always be the number one. And my work will follow in a series or a pattern or whatever, because I like that. I mean, the flower garden sounds too obvious. And I'm being fussy. But when you spend so much time, they become our friends, our work, and an investment of our time and love and memory. Flower to flower? No, the flower to flower doesn't work. Gosh, I'm raving on. Don't worry, everybody. It's just happiness. And when your hands are busy, your heart relaxes and then your head can go free and create. I love that philosophy. Head, hands, heart. They're all interrelated. There we go. Gone around a few times. I'm happy with that little nestling. I've got a big splotch up here. And I've just seen this other part of the doily. So wouldn't this be nice to join? Take that one out. This is the original tablecloth. If you're just tuning in, which now looks very bold and out there, but that's where it started. So it has to stay and be the foundation. Yep, I like that. And I won't go too close with this beautiful edge because it has to be, gulp. The blanket stops here. We don't want to cover up that. Let's have those. Let's round that off a bit. Get rid of that little pointy bit. And then there's opportunity for little flowers and Suffolk puffs and all sorts of treasures in those gaps. Now I did have that, which now has been displaced. So can we, so that came from that. So let's, there we go. That's where it belongs. So let's have, I'll trim it down. So I know sometimes the Betty in this quilt have been confused, you know, a little confusing. But now, I suppose going forward, I look back and the Betty was mainly pink because that was her favourite colour. Whereas this one is multicoloured and representing my love of, you know, the brights and the pinks and basically every colour. You probably don't want to see me do another boring applique there. We've got that one there. I've got orange. Do you know that I've never tried embroidering these? So what if I've got these little nice bits of orange and green that oh, sorry, that's the swan. Rachel will be not liking seeing that if she watches. Now, what was I saying? I could start to join these beautiful works. A little embroidery there. No, so that's against my rules. Let's see if I can find orange or yellow. Yellowy orange. Yep. I do want to have a special shout out to Ellen, who's joined our Facebook group today, and I love that Ellen started off in the Netherlands and has moved to New Zealand, has her family, and now lives on a boat and stitches and makes beautiful things. So that grabbed my dreams and imagination today, and I thought, and I think Ellen's been with me right from the very beginning of my YouTube journey. So thank you, Ellen, for sharing your story and making me smile. And you've made us all smile at that beautiful image. So I've got people stitching in the snow, on boats, on planes and trains, and in their nests. Oops. Now I'm going over the edge of this doily that has the green on it. A little bit will show through. But that's a nice way of joining the flower. Oh, there you are. Done the ouch for the day. The sun's out again now, but it's looking pretty humid out there. We might get more rain. What's causing that, Kate? Just cut that little rough end off. There we are. That's a better position for stitching. Just like this impact, this, what am I saying, impact effect so much. So whoever invented variegated wools and cottons, thank you very much. Okay, so Kate, who can't stop stitching, needs to transform now into Kate, who can't stop cooking. No, I can, but I need to do some cooking. All right, so there we are. This is the garden, or the flower to flower, and these are my little bits, and this project might be coming with me lots of places, including the green door this week. So until I talk to you again, have a lovely, lovely, lovely day, night, wherever it is, and thanks for being with me. This is Kate in the Nest. Bye.